Well, hello everybody, Roger here, and welcome to my channel, Rogers Reads. So it's been a while since I've done a book haul, and I picked up quite a few books recently, so I thought it might be a good time to do one, especially since I have another good-sized book order on the way. Book Outlet was having a sale. So, the first book in my haul is entitled The Alex Crow, and that's by Andrew Smith. And this is one of those books that blends multiple storylines together. And from what I understand, it follows Ariel, a refugee who is the only survivor of an attack on his village. And his story is then juxtaposed against those of a schizophrenic bomber, the diaries of a failed Arctic expedition from the late 19th century, and there's also a depressed, bionic, reincarnated crow. And you can see the crow on the back of the cover. So this sounds very intriguing, so I have no idea how it's going to read. So the next book that I picked up is entitled Bone Gap by Laura Ruby. And this was actually a National Book Award finalist, Prince Award for Best Young Adult Novel of the Year. So when young Rosa went missing from her town, the people of Bone Gap weren't surprised. But another character, Finn, knows what really happened to Rosa, that she was kidnapped by a dangerous man whose face Finn cannot remember. So I guess from that we can assume that Finn was there or somehow witnessed what happened. So then we follow the stories of Finn, Rosa, and the people of Bone Gap to get to the bottom of the mystery. So the next book on my list was entitled The Book Jumper by Methilde Glasser. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the author's name correctly. So yeah, The Book Jumper. So how can you resist a book about books? So this follows Amy Lennox, who doesn't quite know what to expect when her mother picks up one day and takes her to Scotland. Amy's grandmother insists that Amy must read while she resides at Lennox House, but not read in the usual way. As it turns out, Amy is a book jumper, meaning that she's able to leap into the story and interact with the world inside. But there is somebody who's stealing books from the worlds that she visits, and this person may be out to kill Amy. So Amy then teams up with somebody else, and together they strive to find the person responsible. So this sounds kind of fun. And there's the next book by the same author, and another book about books, in fact. It's called The Forgotten Book. So this follows Emma, who, after finding an old book in an abandoned library, learns that anything that she writes in the book comes true. But such a power is not without consequences, and Emma soon learns that she's not the only one who knows about this secret. Someone is determined to take it from her, and they'll stop at nothing to succeed. So this sounds like a real page-turner. So the next book I picked up was a book entitled The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. So this novel is set in the 1970s in Alaska and is told via alternating voices of four young people. So there's Ruth, who has a secret that she can't hide forever. There's Dora, who wonders if she can ever truly escape where she comes from. And Alice, who can't bring herself to leave the life she's always known. And Hank and his brothers decide it's safer to run away. Now supposedly these four very different lives become entangled, and it becomes about these people trying to save each other. So it sounds kind of interesting. And actually I've heard some good things about this book. So we also have The Anatomical Shape of the Heart by Jen Bennett. So this follows a high school artist named Beatrix Adams, who, determined to win a scholarship contest, decides to draw actual cadavers. Then she meets a boy who is possibly one of San Francisco's most notorious graffiti artists, and they develop a friendship, a connection between them. But the boy is hiding something, and Beatrix tries to uncover what it is that's left him so wounded. But of course, the skeletons in Beatrix's closet may tear them apart first. So another interesting read. So the next book I picked up was a book entitled The Dark Between, and this is by Sonia Gensler. So this is a supernatural romance, and I'm a sucker for supernatural romances, which takes place in Cambridge, England at the turn of the 20th century in a world of spiritualism and mediums and seances. So there's a group of scientists who are investigating the spirit world and the dark corners of a human mind. And from what I gather, there are 3 characters who end up discovering a dead body. So the question is the crime the work of a living murderer, or is there something otherworldly going on? So I do believe that the trio involved end up working with the scientists to discover what really happened. And since this is described as a paranormal romance, I'm guessing that there is some paranormal activities going on. Another book that sounds intriguing is a book entitled Behind Closed Doors, and this is written by B.A. Paris. So I think that Simon Savage on Savage Reads, on his channel Savage Reads, first talked about this, and it sounded really good. So this follows a newlywed couple, Jack and Grace, who seem perfect and appear to have it all. Everyone who meets them are utterly charmed by them. But all is not as it seems, and we learn that Grace and Jack are truly inseparable. Now, you might at first think that this is true love, but then somebody notices that Grace doesn't work outside the home, never answers the phone, and is always unable to meet for coffee, even though she's at home all the time. She never cooks elaborate meals, and strangely enough, never takes anything with her when she leaves the house, not even a pen. There are also high security metal shutters at all of the downstairs windows. So, as it turns out, there's a lot more going on in Grace and Jack's relationship than meets the eye. So this sounds like something I'd really enjoy, and I'm looking forward to delving into it. So the next book I picked up is entitled All American Boys, written by Jason Reynolds and Brendan Kearley. Now, when I saw that one of the authors was Jason Reynolds, he wrote A Long Way Down, I simply had to pick this up. So this deals with 2 teens, one black and one white, who grapple with the repercussions of a single violent act, which leaves their entire school, their community, and eventually the whole country bitterly divided by racial tension. So, so this sounds really, really intriguing. And it's not written in verse like Jason Reynolds' Long Way Down is. But, should be good. So the next book I picked up was entitled When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore. Okay, so I'm going to have to read the blurb on this one because this was kind of far out there and I don't remember how it went. To everyone who knows them, best friends Miel and Sam are as strange as they are inseparable. Roses grow out of Miel's wrists, and rumors say that she spilled out of a water tower when she was 5. Sam is known for the moons he paints and hangs in the trees, and for how little anyone knows about his life before he and his mother moved to town. But as odd as everyone considers Miel and Sam, even they stay away from the Bonner girls, 4 beautiful sisters rumored to be witches. Now, they want the roses that grow from Miel's skin, convinced that their scent can make anyone fall in love, and they're willing to use any secret Miel has fought to protect to make sure she gives them up. So, sounds very, very intriguing. When the Moon Was Ours. Okay, and the next book is The Girl from Everywhere by Heidi Heilig. So The Girl from Everywhere is supposed to be a duology that follows Nyx, the daughter of a time traveler who has spent her 60 years zipping around the world and sweeping through centuries aboard her father's ship. But then her father does something which gambles with their very existence. He's uncovered the one map he's always sought, 1868 Honolulu, the year before Nyx's mother died in childbirth, and he's determined to change the past. So no one knows what will happen if her father changes the past, though it could change everything for Nyx, possibly even erase her future. Yeah, and I'm always a sucker for time traveling books, so this one sounded especially interesting. So next is Everything by Nicola Yoon. So this follows a girl named Maddie who has a rare, unusual disease. She cannot touch anything in the outside world. She's basically allergic to the whole world and never leaves the house. But then a boy moves in next door, a boy named Ollie, and he becomes the greatest risk she's ever taken. So I believe that this is also the author who wrote The Sun is Also a Star, which was the #1 New York Times bestseller. So yeah, I'm looking forward to diving into this one. The next book I picked up recently was Something Strange and Deadly by Susan Dennard. So this follows 16-year-old Eleanor Fitt, whose brother is missing. And when she discovers that the dead are rising in Philadelphia and wreaking havoc on the city, she knows that somehow her brother is involved. So she enlists the help of spirit hunters who are after a necromancer who has been reanimating corpses. But can they save her brother? So as Eleanor spends time with the spirit hunters, and especially the handsome inventor Daniel, the situation becomes even more dire, and her very life hangs in the balance. So another interesting story. Okay, so the next few books are books from the Book of the Month Club that I picked up and actually haven't gotten around to yet. So the first is entitled For Better and Worse by Margot Hunt. Now, I don't know too much about this one, except that it follows two, I believe, lawyers named Natalie and Will, who are married. And when a threat to the community puts their son in jeopardy, they decide to see if, using everything that they know about law, can get away with murder. But when police begin poking holes into their airtight plan, what will be the first to fall apart? Their marriage or their scandalous plan? So, sounds like fun. So the next Book of the Month Club selection I got was entitled A Ladder to the Sky by John Boyne. So this is a psychodrama that follows Maurice Smith, who is handsome, charming, and hungry for fame. Now the one thing he doesn't have is talent, but he's not about to let a little detail like that stand in his way, for he is a cunning, ruthless man who will stop at nothing in his pursuit of success. So I absolutely love The Heart's Invisible Furies, which were also written by John Boyne. So when I saw this as a Book of the Month Club selection, I snatched it up right away. I'm looking forward to reading it. So the next book I picked up was entitled The Lies We Told by Camilla Way. So this one sounded really interesting. So let me read you the blurb of this. A daughter. Beth has always known there was something strange about her daughter Hannah. The lack of emotion, the disturbing behavior, the apparent delight in hurting others. Sometimes Beth is scared of her and what she could be capable of. A son. Luke comes from the perfect family with the perfect parents. But one day he disappears without a trace, and his girlfriend, Clara, is desperate to discover what happened to him. A life built on lies. As Clara digs into the past, she realizes that no family is truly perfect, and uncovers a link between Luke's long-lost sister and a strange girl named Hannah. Now Luke's life is in danger because of the lies once told and the secrets once kept. Can Clara find him before it's too late? So, yeah, this sounds like it's right up my alley, so I'm looking forward to this one as well. The next book I picked up was a Nicholas Sparks novel entitled Every Breath, and I think this was just released. So this is an epic romance that follows two people, Hope Anderson and True Walls. So when these two strangers cross paths and a connection forms between them, devastating choices must be made. Choices that pit family duty against personal happiness. So it sounded kind of good. So this was actually a book that I won in a Goodreads drawing. It's entitled Tin Heart by Shivan Plaza. So this is about a girl who has a heart transplant as she sets out to find the donor's family to thank them. But from there, supposedly things become really strange. And that's about all I know about this. So yeah, sounds intriguing. And last but not least, and actually this is a book that I just got in the mail today. It was entitled Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. So this is actually Brandon Sanderson's latest novel and the start to a brand new series. I was going to get the UK edition cover, but it was quite a bit more expensive than the US version at Amazon, so I decided to bite the bullet and go with this one instead. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this series as the book just came out, so I'm really going into it with fresh eyes. So, and I'm looking forward to starting another Brandon Sanderson series. So, have you read any of these books? If so, let me know in the comments. However, if you read them and hated them, please don't let me know about all these books because I'm excited about them. So, please don't dampen my enthusiasm by telling me how much you loathed one of my choices and how much it sucked. We'll save that for when I do a wrap-up review. And also, have you hauled any interesting books lately? Again, let me know below. So that is it for this time. As always, I thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you click the like button below, as it really helps me out. So that is it. I'll talk to you in the next video. Roger and out.